Hi, I'm Paul from the Studio Apps. Now, I keep getting asked what effects that I'm using in the studio. So what I thought I'd do today is just to go through my basic studio rig of recording guitars for these YouTube videos. Now, I do this every year or so, and things are constantly changing in the studio. So what I thought I'd do is just to update the video and show you exactly what I'm using, what's on my board, what effects I'm using, what amps I'm using, that sort of stuff. Now, I normally do this every year, so if you want to see how it evolves, have a look back over the previous videos that I've done. But what I thought I wanted to do today is to concentrate on the pedal board that I'm using, because this has pretty much been a staple for quite some time. And as I'm always getting asked what pedals I'm using, I thought I'd just concentrate on this today. Now, if you want to see a future video where I go through more of the sort of reverbs and the post-recording effects, let me know in the comments below and I'll go through that. So let's have a look at the pedal board. Now, these four pedals are pretty much the staple that are on my board. I've always got a delay, I've always got something that wobbles, I've always got an overdrive, and I've always got a compressor. If you want to check out any of these pedals, I'll leave a link in the description. Now, this will be an affiliate link. Please don't feel you have to buy from this affiliate link. It does help the channel, obviously, but if you can get it cheaper anywhere else, even better. So let's start from right to left, as that is the signal flow. And the first thing I plugged into is a Keeley Plus compressor. Now, if you're looking for a compressor that does pretty much everything, isn't really restricted to what guitar you want to use, this is a compressor to get. And I'll explain why, because it's got a couple of clever tricks up its sleeve. First of all, on this Keeley Plus compressor, you've got a switch which switches from if you're using single coils and if you're using humbuckers. Now, I find this really handy, especially if you're using humbuckers, because a lot of compressors, you're constantly adjusting the threshold and the mix control. And with this, you don't. So as you can see, I've got it in the humbucker setting at the moment, and I'm using this SG. Now, there's a couple of really useful features on this compressor. One is a tone control. So if you've got a darker sounding guitar, you can bring up the tone control and it lets through more of the top end. And it's also got a blend control. The blend control basically adjusts the amount of mix of the compressor inside your signal. So you'll see that I've got it right the way back. I'm hardly compressing at all, but what it does is it adds this really nice pick attack to the note. And that is the basic reason why I've always got this compressor on my board. So if I take it off, and I play a couple of notes, and then bring it in, because I've got the blend control rolled back, it's letting loads of the pick attack through, but it's just smoothing out the notes. Now, if I play a full chord, say like an E, with the compressor in, and now take it out, you'll also hear how it's adjusting the tone of the guitar. And all of the strings seem to have the same amount of articulation, which is one of the reasons why I love this compressor. It sounds absolutely brilliant. Now, next I've got a Strymon Riverside. I think this is a bit of a sleeper, this pedal, because you don't see this pedal on many pedal boards. I think us guitarists have become quite snobby, where we like analog things, we like valves and we like sort of transistors, that sort of stuff, especially in our overdrives. And this, as far as I know, is a digital pedal. Well, what this pedal does, which you can't say for a lot of pedals, is it works with any amplifier. Now, if you notice, you might plug into a certain amplifier with a certain overdrive pedal and go, that doesn't sound right, and you're constantly sort of swapping out overdrives. Now, because I'm constantly doing videos and plugging into different amplifiers and different effects, it's really nice to have an overdrive that basically covers the whole sort of spectrum of things. This does everything from a boost to quite high gain. So with the pedal off, now with the pedal in, so there I've got it as a bit of a bright boost. Now, because it's a dual pedal, you can actually store a preset on it. And then I can click it onto the preset, which is a more high gain overdrive. Next is a pedal that is highly worth checking out if you haven't checked one out already, which is the Harmonious Monk version 2 from Jam Pedals. This is a tremolo, but it's a harmonic tremolo. It sounds like this. It basically stays on that setting, which is a harmonic trem setting. And if you're ever doing any sort of big ambient stuff, like I've got a big reverb going on at the moment, it works really, really well. And it hides a bunch of mistakes as well, which makes it even more worth checking out. Now, next I've got the Galaxy Echo from UAFX. This is a recreation or digital version of the old Space Echo. Now, the great thing about this, when you're feeding overdrives into it, it doesn't crap out. It stays really, really high fidelity, which I really like. And there's basically one tempo that I always use on it. And if you listen to it, you'll hear it just in the background. Now, the way that I like to use delays coming before an amplifier is that you can just about hear the delay when you hit a chord. But when you're actually playing any sort of lead stuff, it sort of blends into the background and you can't really tell it's on. When you take it away, you can tell. Now, when I put on an overdrive pedal, as I said, it doesn't crap out in the background. Which is great because it adds this extra sort of thickness to the tone, which I really like. Now, what I'll occasionally do, especially if I'm doing more of a, how would I say, like a more edge, U2 edge style delay, I would just bring up the echo level. So if I bring it up, it sounds like this. And it's great for adding those sort of dotted eighth rhythm parts. Now lastly, I should probably talk about this unit. I did do a video on this. This thing has become absolutely invaluable. This is a KHE amp switcher. What this enables me to do is to switch my pedal board into any amplifier and then any amplifier into any speaker or load box that I want it to do. The way that I've got this set up is sometimes I want to plug into, so like a Tonex or a QC, Core Cortex, and sometimes I want to plug all of these effects into an amplifier. What this enables me to do is to switch between all of my amplifiers and all of my effects units without having to unplug anything, and then I can send whatever I want to whatever load box. Now obviously if you're using something like Tonex or Core Cortex, you're not sending to a load box, that's going straight into my recording system. But it enables me to switch at the moment between Tonex, and if I click on this button here, I can then send it to the Soldano SLA 100. And then back to Tonex. So there you go, that answers all the questions of what's on my pedal board. Now there are effects that come and go, especially if I'm doing reviews. Certain effects have to come in and out, but these are the ones that I tend to stick to because I find them the most versatile. Now that's not to say that any of the other effects that I've got or any of the other pedals that I've got aren't equally as fantastic, but these are the ones that I mainly use for recording and for YouTube videos because it just makes it really easy, and I know these pedals like the back of my hand. As I said at the beginning of the video, all of these pedals are linked in the description, so if you want to go and check them out, you can just go and click on the link. I really hope you guys got something out of this video. If you did get something out of it, don't forget to like and subscribe, click on the bell button, and you'll be notified of any future video that comes out from the Studio Rat. So I'm Paul, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.